Man is back.
Oh, okay, boys. Oh my gosh, the ring got messed up. This is a 5 out of freaking 5.
It is beat making time.
Next week is E3 week. My album comes out next week.
I have delivered. Oh, look at that, my God.
This is your boy.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash the True and Fun Out. Back at it with another Pokemon Unite commentary video gameplay on YouTube. And by the time you're watching this video, I will be in Japan, believe it or not. So that's why I'm doing this in advance. I'm recording 3 videos that would be on this channel in advance. This is the second video that I'm doing, but this is the one I'm releasing first. So yeah, there's that. And actually, I did like 6 videos today, because I did 3 on my other channel, which is True and Fun of Pokemon Go Adventures. 2 of them came out on this exact day, which is Friday, July the 28th, in case you're wondering. So, what this video is about? Well, we got to ask the question. Did PlayStation lie about how important Call of Duty is? Well, let's read this article from Kotaku real quick. So, check this out. PlayStation boss Jim Ryan has been fighting Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard tooth and nail. We're going to have some news on that going into the next video, and I'm going to record that immediately after I get done with this one. Claiming it jeopardizes Call of Duty on PlayStation 5. But in a private email when the deal was first announced, Jim Ryan apparently wrote that he didn't think it was and I'm quoting him here, well, they quoting him rather, exclusivity play to take away Call of Duty, and that Microsoft was, quoting again, thinking bigger than that. The previous unreported email was discussed by Microsoft's lead lawyer in his current court hearing fighting a proposed injunction by the Federal Trade Commission on its attempted $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Ryan, who became head of Sony Interactive Entertainment in 2019, was discussing the deal while writing to Chris Deering, the former president of PlayStation Europe. And here's what was said. It is not an exclusivity play at all, Ryan wrote, according to Microsoft's lawyer. According to IGN, the email was dated January 20, 2022, just 2 days after the acquisition was announced. And we're continuing with the quote, they're thinking bigger than that, and they have the cash to make moves like this. I have spent a fair bit of time with, they did a typo. They said with, interesting, with Phil Spencer, who is the Microsoft Gaming CEO, and Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick, who we are not exactly fond of because of obvious reasons, but yet people seem to have forgotten that over the past few days. But moving on. And I'm pretty sure we'll continue to see Call of Duty on PlayStation for many years to come, end quote. This seems to fly in the face of arguments Sony had made publicly and to regulators that the deal would lead to Call of Duty potentially becoming an Xbox exclusive or when it was on competing platforms if it's completed. Last September, Ryan blasted the reported tons of an initial proposal by Microsoft to keep bringing Call of Duty to the PlayStation, calling it inadequate. Continuing with the quote here, Microsoft has only offered for Call of Duty to remain on PlayStation for 3 years after the current agreement between Activision and Sony ends, he said in a statement. After almost 20 years of Call of Duty on PlayStation, their proposal was inadequate on many levels and failed to take account of the impact on our gamers. We want to guarantee PlayStation gamers continues to have the highest quality Call of Duty experience, and Microsoft's proposal undermines this principle. So, yeah, there you go with that. So basically what the email is saying is this. Basically, they didn't see this as a way for Microsoft to keep Call of Duty on their platform. That's basically how Jim Ryan originally saw it. But yeah, he wanted to turn the table and say, yeah, they trying to keep Call of Duty to themselves when trying to make this deal not go down and stuff like that. But it's also interesting because Sony have a history of keeping some games away from the Xbox. So you wondering what games fall under that category? Well, let's count the rays, shall we? Let's see. We got the Kingdom Hearts franchise. So remember, Kingdom Hearts came out on PlayStation 2. That's when it first got started on PlayStation 2. Granted, some of the Kingdom Hearts game came on the Nintendo systems, or handheld systems to be exact, but none of them came on the Xbox. So remember, when the PlayStation 2 was out, the original Xbox was out. And yet there was no Kingdom Hearts on the Xbox. Final Fantasy is another one. Final Fantasy was kept away from the Xbox for so long. And there are other games that Sony kept away from Microsoft that I can't name up off the top of my head. But yet, when the possibility of Call of Duty being kept away from Sony occurs, first of all, they even lied. They ain't even worried about that even happening. But now they say, then they want to turn to the table and say, oh yeah, that might happen. It's like, I'll be honest, it's a bitch move by Sony. It really is a bitch move by Sony. It makes them look really bad. And basically anything they have to say in terms of why this deal should happen is pretty much irrelevant at this point. Because they lied. They pretty much lied. Based on that email that went out, they pretty much lied. So that's a problem. That's a problem for them, for Sony. And here's the thing, it makes you wonder if a business like that would lie about something like that. What else could they be lying about? You got to ask that question. But here's the thing about society. People tend to forget stuff like this. They tend to forget that companies or heads of companies make stupid decisions or make decisions that is not exactly frowned upon by the status quo, by the current society. But despite that, they still play their games. They still buy their products and stuff like that. For example, Activision Blizzard. We remember, I just mentioned about, what's that dude's name? Bobby Kotick. He was, I'm not going to talk about what he was pretty much in charge of when, he was the CEO. I'm assuming he still is CEO. I don't know. But yet, people are playing Overwatch 2. People are playing Diablo 4. People are still messing with Activision Blizzard games, despite what happened over there in terms of how they treated women. So, yeah, people tend to forget stuff like that. So, for Sony to lie, like, in society's eyes, it's not the biggest deal breaker. But even the biggest deal breakers, people will tend to forget about it and move on and still support your product. So, which is a problem, in my opinion, which is a problem. So, back on topic, though, again, if the deal happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. Me personally, like, I'm on the fence of whether it should happen or not, because I don't know what this would mean in the long run. Well, I have an idea what it would mean in the long run, but the thing is, it's going to be really tough to, like, it's really tough for me to side one way or the other, to be honest. Like, I generally have no idea. I have no idea. Like, in terms of whether or not I should support the deal or should I be against the deal. Because there's cons and pros on both sides. So that's where I stand, and that's where I will remain to be standing at. So there's that. I'm going to call it a wrap. So with all that said, y'all know who this is. This is boy New Jay Gatsby, a.k.a. New Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.
Here comes